I am actually doing this during the day right now. I'm sure you can tell by the different lighting. You can very clearly see what? You can very clearly see now that I literally just have my phone pointed to this. So why am I doing this during the day today? Well, it's because tonight I'm going out. I'm going out with friends tonight. And well, I have today off. I got today off. Normally I have Thursdays off, but today, on Wednesday, I got today off. Just for this week, though. It is 2 in the afternoon right now. Normally I would do this around like 7.5 hours from now. I almost did not get the chance today. I almost lost my day off today. Again. Once again, I was told days in advance that I can take this particular day off. And then, when that day rolls around, nope, never mind. So I almost lost today. You know, now that it's bright, and now that you can actually see the screen, you can really tell how bad the camera constantly focusing in on is. You can really tell how bad it is now. But, oh well, I've decided I'm gonna stick with it today. Yeah, I almost lost today off. That's because yesterday, I got sent home early. Not because of anything bad. It's because yesterday, my sister, she was expecting a delivery to the house. Sometimes deliveries, they'll take a picture of your package in front of your front door to prove your package has been delivered. However, the front door in the picture was not our house, was not our front door. She very angrily called the delivery company, being like, that's not my front door. You know, you dropped off my package at someone else's house. And, I don't know, maybe there was a language barrier or some thick accent. My sister was on the phone with one of the people on the other end trying to help her, and she was... First of all, my sister was very upset, and she couldn't understand at all what the person on the other line was saying. So I was told, come home early, see if by chance the package was delivered to our next door neighbor. Because the front door in the picture, we don't know if that's our neighbor's door. We don't know what our neighbor's front door looks like, do you? How well do you know what your neighbor's front door looks like? So yeah, yesterday I came home early to make sure if the package was delivered to our neighbor or not. So I walked up to our neighbor's house, and then, without pressing the doorbell, without knocking, I walked away. Just in case, because I wanted to walk back to my front door to make sure. Did the neighbor see it's the wrong package and put it at our doorstep instead? No? Okay. So then I walked back to the neighbor's house, and by then, the neighbor already walked out and was like, hello, excuse me, is there something I can help you with? Because, you know, everyone has security cameras these days, so they were able to tell someone was at their door. So yeah, they already came out, and I'm like, I live right next door. I think a package was delivered to you guys by mistake. So the lady next door took a look. At first she thought, no, this is our package. But then she took a closer look, and it's like, oh no, this is the wrong package. This is yours. It turns out, one of my neighbors, someone in that big-ass family of theirs, has the exact same name as my sister. So they didn't think anything of it. They saw the name on the package and they just assumed it was theirs. You know, almost 10 years living next to them, I did not know they had a family member with the same name as my sister. We don't talk to our neighbors. If anything, my family hates our neighbors. So yeah, I came home early yesterday to make sure if the package was at our neighbor's house or not. And thankfully it was, and it wasn't dropped off to some random neighborhood who knows where. So yeah, I came home early yesterday, so I missed like half the day at work. It wasn't busy anyway, so it's fine. But then my family was trying like, what are you gonna take today off for? You had yesterday off. I'm just like, no, that doesn't count. I did not plan to have half of yesterday off. That was not part of the plan. I fully intended to be at work all day yesterday, but then I was suddenly told to go home early halfway into the day. It's not my fault. And now you almost want to take away my scheduled day off today just because of what happened yesterday? Hell no. I had plans prepared. I have things that I set aside to do because you told me days ahead of time that I could have this day off to myself. So I almost lost today off. Normally I take Thursdays off, but today on Wednesday, some sort of scheduling thing with my other coworker, blah blah blah. So instead, I got today off, today being Wednesday, and tomorrow on Thursday, I shall work. And hey, everything lined up pretty well, you know. I had today during the day off, so I could do this. And at night, I'm going out with friends. A friend of mine, who was originally from here, went to either go to school or work in California. I think it's work. I think he went to go work in California and he's back for a little while. So we want to go out, have dinner as a big group. Tonight we're either getting all-you-can-eat sushi or all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue. We'll see. So I won't be able to do this tonight, so which is why I'm doing this now. And I really would like this shiny Heatran, because officially now, Heatran has taken the longest. Heatran has now taken even longer than Dialga did. Ultra Sun hates me. Is this Ultra Sun's payback for me never playing Ultra Sun? For me always playing Ultra Moon instead? Well, you know what, Ultra Sun? This is why I play Ultra Moon instead. You know, in a way relating to Ultra Moon. So I actually... Another reason why I prefer Ultra Moon is just because I like Lunala more than Solgaleo. And by extension, I like Dawn Wings Necrozma better than Dusk Mane. So I've always gravitated more towards Moon and Ultra Moon version over Sun and Ultra Sun. And like I said, in a way kind of relating to it, right now in Pokemon Go, Solgaleo is in raids. Now, I did one Solgaleo raid so far. It cannot be shiny. I did one raid so far, mostly because it was in person and I still had my daily raid pass. And also, I needed to do a Solgaleo raid because my intention was to transfer it to Pokemon Home to get the Home Go Dex spot registered. And in a couple weeks from now, Lunala will be in raids, so I will do the same thing. Fantastic. Saves me the trouble of having to transfer 2 Cosmogs to Pokemon Home instead of just 1. And also, Lunala being in raids helped me a ton. I only have 1 Lunala in my Pokemon Go, and that's the one we got from Special Research with the background. I already best buddied it, because that background is sweet. I have not evolved my remaining 3 other Cosmogs in Pokemon Go, and I don't plan to, because now Solgaleo and Lunala are in raids. Solgaleo and Lunala cannot be shiny in raids, not yet, so that's a shame. But it kind of works out for me, because I have still been waiting to get my hands on another Lunala to fuse it to a Necrozma. And well, this is the perfect opportunity. I don't need the Lunala to have good IVs because it doesn't matter. I would actually prefer one with bad IVs so that I can fuse it to my Necrozma. It'll just have the Necrozma's IVs. which I did double check which Necrozma I would fuse it with. I don't want it to be shiny. I know that's blasphemy to say. I prefer the way regular Dawnwing's Necrozma looks over the shiny. The blue just, to me, looks better than the pink. So I took a look. First of all, I only have one shiny Necrozma in my game anyways. So I took a look at what other Necrozmas I would fuse. Turns out, I have a 96 IV with a background. So it's kind of a no-brainer. That's the one I will fuse to a Lunala I get from the raids. And it's also perfectly poetic, because I also checked, I do not have anywhere near enough Solgaleo energy to fuse, but I do have enough Lunala energy. So, perfection. Also, something else happening right now in Pokemon Go, Hisuian Zorua has made its debut, and I just want to say that I called it. I called it a long time ago. I don't remember when or what I was doing, what I was playing, but I did call it. A long time ago, I had an idea. I was like, hear me out. Hisuian Zorua, the exact same way regular Zorua is in Pokemon Go. Disguises itself as your buddy. The way Zorua works in Pokemon Go, but just with Hisuian Zorua. I called it. It was exactly as I predicted. I called it here first, folks. Wherever I said that, somewhere in the past, I called it. I mean, it's not a hard prediction to make, but still, I called it. It's a shame Hisuian Zorua can't be shiny, because the shiny is fantastic. I still don't have my hands on a regular Unova shiny Zorua yet in Pokemon Go. I want one. I tried like hell to get one, but I still don't have one. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. So today, I have 3, yes, only 3 shows to talk about. I have Squid Game Season 3. I have The Boys Season 4. And I have Arcane Season 2. We have each of those shows to talk about. I did try to watch Ironheart, but the website online just did not want to play the episode. So, oh no. Anyways. Oh no, I couldn't watch Ironheart. Oh, too bad. Oh, I'm so sad. Well, if anything, it looks like the episode count for Ironheart and Squid Game will indeed line up, whether I like it or not. Whether I want it to or not, doesn't matter anyways. So I was not able to watch Ironheart episode 5, and you know me, Disney is still Disney. I'm not supporting them financially, so I'm not watching it on Disney Plus. I'm just using random websites online to watch it. I sure as hell ain't paying to watch Ironheart of all things. So, we'll just have to wait until I am able to watch Ironheart episode 5 to discuss the episode. If it was anywhere as bad as episode 4, maybe it's a blessing I was not able to watch it. But yeah, instead of Ironheart, we have Squid Game Season 3, episode, I think it's 4? See, this is why if they were lined up, it'd be so much easier to remember. Yeah, episode 4. So we have Squid Game Season 3, Episode 4, as well as Episodes 1 for both The Boys and Arcane. The Boys Season 4 and Arcane Season 2. Man, there is so much for me to watch right now. Sandman Season 2 came out. I haven't even started watching that yet. I didn't even realize My Dress Up Darling Season 2 came out. Yes, I'm watching that. Or I will. Like, so much stuff is coming out. I don't have enough time. On top of all these other ones that I'm watching. And then there's a handful of other things I have yet to watch. Like, you know, as recommended, The Amazing Digital Circus. Amazing. And then there's still that other anime I've been saying for a year that I haven't watched yet. You know, Alia, Russian. That I haven't even watched that yet. So I have so much to watch. I only have so much time. There's only so many hours in a day. And then, you know, a lot of that time is taken up by other stuff. And then Superman Legacy is out. I still have to find time to go and watch that. So much stuff to watch. So much stuff. But it's okay. Squid Game and Ironheart are almost done. What did I just see on Netflix? Hold on, what was that? Oh, look at that. Inuyasha's on Netflix. Or at least this, the final act. I think I forgot to mention that about K-pop Demon Hunters as well. Half demon, half human. Alright, so it's just Inuyasha fighting other demons. I did realize that sounded pretty familiar the moment I was watching the film. Oh yeah, I did have to wake up early this morning. Yesterday morning, my mom wanted us to wake up early to go grab some dim sum for breakfast. You know, that dim sum? Frickin' Chinese accents. Oh, hell no. I'm so glad I don't have a Chinese accent. So anyways, yeah, yesterday morning my mom wanted us to wake up early to go grab some morning breakfast dim sum for breakfast. Because if you're early enough, you get that early bird special and it's cheaper. So if you dine and eat before 11 a.m., then your meal is much cheaper. But yesterday we woke up too late. By the time we got there, it hit 11 on the dot. So we were too late. So instead, this morning, we tried again. We woke up a little bit earlier this morning. We went out, we sat down, we ate. Had me wake up early on my day off. So yeah, this morning we went out for dim sum. And because I woke up early on my day off, where I should have slept in, I could have came home and I could have napped. I could have caught up on some sleep, but instead I'm here doing this. You're welcome. So yes, indeed, we did take 2 cars out after breakfast. Wait, we took 2 cars out to breakfast so that way I can have a car to drive back home while the rest of my family drives to work. Ain't that stupid? But whatever. I did also have to get gas before I came home too, because I'm gonna need the car to go out tonight. And I figured may as well get gas now before doing it when I leave tonight. Look at that! Total Drama is on Netflix. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me see. Which is it per series? It is per series. So it doesn't count season 2 as Total Drama Action. No, they're considered totally different shows. Okay, so Total Drama Island is separate. Does it have the other ones? Hold on, let me see. I didn't know this was on Netflix. From what I see, no. Only Total Drama Island is on Netflix, or at least for here. I know Netflix, different parts of the world, has different selection. You know, not everywhere in the world does Netflix have The Walking Dead, at least from what I hear. I think it's fun to think that Total Drama and 16 of all shows are in the same world. You guys remember that 16, that Canadian show? That was the shit my sister and I grew up with. How are they connected? Well, the questionable prequel show, Total Drama Rama, where Jude was in daycare with them as well, for some reason. Well, it's because Jude and Chris McLean were voiced by the same actor. That does pose a continuity question, though. Like, how do absolutely none of our characters remember each other whatsoever by the time they're, you know, old enough and on a game show? Their entire kindergarten class? Their entire kindergarten grade, I guess, like everyone there was together. Well, I don't know. You ask me now if I walk past someone I knew from kindergarten, would I recognize them still? The answer would be no. But like all of them? Every last one of them? Don't remember any of them from kindergarten? Not even one? It's not impossible. Alright, enough yapping. Let's actually get into the episodes. You know, I also saw on Netflix earlier today some sort of event going on, maybe tonight or whatever. Taylor versus Serrano. It's some sort of boxing match. When I first saw Taylor, I thought it was Taylor Swift versus someone else. I didn't know it was boxing. I don't know. I don't listen to Taylor Swift and I don't watch boxing. Alright, episode 4 of Squid Game Season 3. This one's just titled 222. So the end of the last episode, where they were doing the jump rope game, this guy who made it to the end is kind of roadblocking. Anyone who gets across, he will push off. And his strategy is actually not that bad. If no one else makes it, if it's just him and Yi-hun, just the last 2 players, or, 3, if, after they decided the baby counts as well. But yeah, assuming it's just those 2, just Gi-hun and this guy, his strategy is actually not that bad. If he doesn't let anyone else pass, if he pushes off and kills anyone else who crosses, it would just be those 2 remaining. 2 players remaining. They can both vote to quit the game, and then it'd be over. They just split the sharings. They just split the prize in half. His strategy is actually not that bad. However, Gi-hun being the good person he is, he can't allow it. And also because he promised Jun-hee, who was on the other side, that, he would help her. Well, Gi-hun can't allow this, so he actually stops this dude's plan. One of the ladies actually turns around so that she can stop jumping, which is actually pretty smart. But then, of course, this guy just kicks her off. Should have been smarter than that lady. Shouldn't have just stopped right at the edge. You know, the way Gihun made that other guy stop blocking the bridge, he's just like, but I can just push you off, you know? Why do I need you here? Whatever he said. So, whatever the hell this guy's name was, the crypto scammer guy, I'm just gonna keep on calling him that. He tries to talk to Jun-hee. He wants to help her. He wants her to survive, so that the two of them can make it out of here together and raise their baby. However, and you can't exactly blame Jun-hee for this, she's just stubborn because of her hatred of him, and you can't really blame him, but you can't really blame her for hating him, but at this moment, maybe that's not the time to show your hatred. Be like, I don't want to see you ever again, and I don't want you in my baby's life. Maybe that's not the best timing. I get you want what's best for your kid, but technically that is also his baby as well. And if anything, I feel like he probably would be best to raise the kid, at least for now. Either that or Gihun, but it does seem like Gihun is primarily taking care of the kid throughout this episode. We even see Min-soo high out of his mind, hallucinating that the giant boy statue holding the jump rope is smiling at him. Man, that is some eerie CGI visuals, I tell you. But hey, we finally see Min-soo break out of a shell, I guess. All it took was some drugs. So yeah, everyone has crossed the bridge. Jun-hee, she cannot because her fractured ankle. She can't jump. Gihun actually offers to go back to the other side of the bridge to help her across, but she actually tells him, no, don't. You stay put. You said to protect my baby no matter what. And she's the last player too. So, just before the timer runs out, instead of, letting herself be shot, she chooses to walk off the ledge herself and fall to her death. Oh, that's heartbreaking. She was a newborn mother too. And I tell you, that was a long intro as well. So these VIPs, they are evil. They are horrible. These VIPs. Once again, it is so unnatural to hear English in this show. Like, legitimately. They're actually debating back and forth amongst their VIP scummy selves. What do they do with the baby now? Because the baby did cross the bridge, the baby did win. However, the baby was kind of attached to player 222, the baby's mother. So now that the mother is gone, the baby should be eliminated too. So then they turn to their host and ask the frontman, what do you propose happens to the baby? And frontman is just like, why don't we have the baby participate in the games, taking the mother's place? So now the baby is the new player 222. Frontman did this to promise his VIPs a more interesting show. That's just evil. Like, we all know Frontman is pretty evil to the core, but still, I'm surprised he would even consider this, considering the fact that he himself was almost a father. I'm going to assume that the story he told about his wife being pregnant and terminally ill, I'm going to assume that was true. So, the frontman was almost a father. Alright, so the players are back in their room, their little sleeping area. They're actually debating amongst themselves. Maybe now's the time to quit the game. Because, we'll all get enough. Except for that one guy who owes like what was it, 10 million won or whatever, the old guy. But the rest of us, that should be enough. But then, of course, because the workers are just following the orders by the front man, the staff come in and it's just like, 9 players remaining. Wait, what? There are 8 of us remaining. What do you mean 9? Player 222 is still in the game. What do you mean? We saw her die. Player 222 is right there. The baby. So, no surprise, all of these evil guys are just like, that makes no sense. The baby inherits the mother's winnings? We risked our lives in here, and that baby being born in here, that baby suddenly gets all that money? So, these guys now are aware that the baby is now considered a participant. And they know the rules. If someone dies, they're eliminated from the game, and that means more prize money for them. So these heartless, evil animals actually group together and go after a newborn baby, or they attempt to. They actually group up and want to kill the baby. What's the matter with these guys? I know it's a lot of money, but you don't kill a newborn baby for that. You don't kill a child for that, let alone a newborn baby who was born a day ago. Hold on. Let me go through the episode to see just how much money it was that they said. 44.8 billion divided by 8 people, which makes 5.6. So, hold on. 44.8. So, instead of divide by 8, divide by 9. Okay, that's 4.97. You know what? I should probably just add billion. 44.8 billion divided by 9. You know what? That didn't change the answer whatsoever. So 497. Is that right? Oh, you know what? The hell with this. 44.8 billion won. And I'm going to convert this to my currency, to Canadian. That is... If you guys could hear that, my phone was ringing. Of course, during the day, I can never get any peace and quiet. Give me a second. Oh. Oh, you... For God's sake! You know what? The hell with it. I tried opening Facebook to message my sister. What do you want? I'm busy. But then I gotta restore messages, and then I gotta get a one-time code. Nope, the hell with it. Screw it. Anyways, back to what I was trying to say before. Of course, I got fucking phone calls throughout the day. I swear to God, you look back at the history of the channel, every single time I tried to do something during the day, fucking phone calls. Anyways, as I'm trying to look up, 44.8 billion won to Canadian is $44 million. $44,670,917.17. So I'm just gonna real quick copy that amount, divide by 8, first of all, will be 550, oh god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 digits, $5 million, $5.5 million. More than that. Okay, divide by 9 instead. $4.9 million. So that is a lot of prize money gone, but like you don't kill a newborn child for nearly $1 million. Not even $1 million, for like $500,000. You don't kill a newborn child for $500,000. Well, at least the guards are not really the guards. At least Frontman and everyone else have some sort of humanity, besides just letting a baby technically participate. They did say, further violence amongst yourselves will no longer be allowed. So, you can't kill each other anymore, and you cannot slaughter a baby. Monsters. Animals. The depths of what humanity will actually sink to for a little bit of more cheese. And these dudes have the nerve to be pissed off, to be upset. What do you mean I can't kill a newborn baby for money? Well, it's that part of the game again, where just before the final game, it's mealtime. Cook up a fancy feast. Last time we were here, there were only 3 players left. Now there's 8. 9 if you count the baby. Which I'm just like... in a way, I kind of thought it was too soon. But like, oh yeah, they only have 1 game left. And they're all about to hit the final game. So yeah, it is time for them to eat. So unlike last time where we had a nice big steak and a bunch of other stuff, this time they have a whole bunch of like Korean dishes, which makes sense since this is in Korea. We also see Minsu kind of have withdrawals. You know, he's itching. He's scratching at the neck, just needing more. So what he does instead of eating is he just keeps on drinking water. So everyone's feasting down on their excellently cooked meals from the looks of it. One of the workers actually brings out they can never do anything regularly, you know? They have to make everything presentable. So one of the guards brings out a gift wrapped box with a baby bottle inside, as well as a baby bottle warmer. And to me, I'm kind of surprised, like, you actually have this? You at the island actually have this? The island actually has baby formula and a baby bottle? Because I can't imagine many babies have actually been on the island for the game. So I'm a little surprised. You actually have this? And then I'm thinking, like, is it kind of like the restaurant in the menu? What do you have? Everything. They just have literally everything you can think of on this island. Anything and everything you could possibly need. They just have it on the island. Or a more logical theory is that we saw at the beginning of Season 2 that these masked guys clearly have no problems going to the inland, you know, going to the city. They have boats, they have resources, so frontman or someone could have easily commanded one of the workers, go to the shore, go to the inland, and pick up some baby formula, as well as a baby bottle. You know, someone easily could have just gone back to the shore and picked up some baby formula. But yeah, I'm just a little surprised. These guys actually have baby formula here? What, did they just have it in case exactly this happens? Where a baby is in the game? They just have baby formula in case it ever happens? Some lunatic registers to play the games not knowing what they're getting themselves into and brings their kid with them too? I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of adorable seeing just one of those pink suit soldiers feeding the baby and actually having a bunch of patience and care to do so. Pulled up a bench and is just slowly feeding the baby formula. If anything, I'm amazed that baby is still alive, given how little that baby has eaten in the day that it has been born. You know, once babies are born, usually they need some sort of like resting period before they can be exposed out. At least that's what I heard. You know, when newborn babies are born in the hospital, there's this little room where they're all kind of like being incubated. And it's like they can't be exposed to outside air for a certain amount of time until they're ready. Obviously in the wild, that's something totally different. The apocalypse ever happens, that's gonna have to be ignored. So the VIPs are actually wondering, like, now I'm worried. They can all easily just vote out of the game and take the prize money. They have no reasons not to quit out. But then the frontman's like, not unless we tell them what's coming up. They're diabolical. They're evil. What more can I say? So the guard lets them know. For the final game, you will be given a hint. Amongst yourselves, you will decide and vote who will be eliminated. Minimum of 3. That's all they need to know. That's all they get. So they decide, bare minimum of 3, who gets eliminated. And the rest, well, you know, just group together, survive, and win. Because even the frontman said, because next game, no one will die. So they threw that wrench in to motivate them. So now it's time to vote. Time to vote. Continue the games or stop the games. Gi-hun and Min-soo vote to not continue, and no surprise, everyone else votes to continue. Except for the last guy who kind of gets peer pressured to continue. Even though it wouldn't have mattered anyways, the majority already voted yes, continue. I find it absolutely hilarious and stupid that the guard is just like, player 222, the baby, please come and cast your vote. The vote will be disqualified due to the baby not having enough brain development or whatever. I'm just like, did you even need to say that? Really? I just found that so stupid that the guard even needed to say that. Player 2, the infant baby, please come and cast your vote. So anyways, these group of guys decide on who the 3 to vote out will be. And yeah, to them, it's kind of a no-brainer. The 3 to vote out. Gi-hun, Min-soo, you know, the addict, and the baby. To them, it's a no-brainer. However, crypto scammer guy, you know, the father to the baby, goes along with it. I kind of feel like what he's doing is strategically smart. going with the guys so that he himself won't get voted out, but at the risk of his kid. You know, you want to keep on their good sides, because majority can vote against you. So he's pretending to be with them, unless he's seriously with them. And I also don't think any of these guys know that that's his kid. To them, he just seems like a guy interested in the girl who's pregnant. I doubt anyone was listening in to their conversation. So to them, it's settled, it's clear. You vote out Gi-hun, Min-soo, and the baby. Alright, so all of them are out. They're sleeping like pigs after they feasted on all that food and drink. So they're completely out. When that food coma hits, you know. Gi-hun strategically stays up, because he knows there's a chance one of them can spring up and attack. Even though it was said before that the rules have changed, you can no longer attack amongst yourselves. But yeah, Gi-hun strategically stays up. I kind of figured that the crypto scamming guy, he would eventually walk up to Gi-hun and be like, I'm only pretending to be with them, but that's my kid. Me and her, that's my kid. I will not let anything happen to my kid, but I'm only pretending to be with them to, you know, protect my kid. I kind of think he would walk up to Gi-hun for that, but no, he never did. But yeah, one of the guards walks up to Gi-hun, who is still awake, and says he wants to see you. So Gi-hun gets brought up and sees the front man face to face. The front man asks Gi-hun to take a seat so they can talk. And they finally chat. Gi-hun finally is face to face with the front man. And the front man has a proposal to Gi-hun. He puts a blade in front of Gi-hun and is like, all the other people, they will kill you tomorrow. They will go after you and the baby tomorrow, trying to kill you. Here's the knife. They're all in deep sleep after all that food. Kill them now. Tomorrow, the game cannot be played with 3 players. So by the rules, the game will end and you will win. So the front man is basically telling Gi-hun, kill them now and make it out of here alive. If not, tomorrow in the next game, the final game, they will come after you and the kid, and you will both die. Front man's just like, I'm trying to help you here, and Gi-hun, understandably, doesn't buy it. Gi-hun just thinks these guys are monsters or animals. You just want to see a baby be killed in front of you for your entertainment. So Gi-hun asks the front man, why are you doing this? And the front man takes off his mask. There was even a moment of hesitancy of him taking off his mask. But the front man finally takes off his mask. Gi-hun realizes who is in charge and the feeling of betrayal. Frontman even has the nerve to apologize about Jungbei. Gi-hun draws the blade, almost wants to kill him, but of course Gi-hun does not. Frontman even assures him, go ahead and kill me if you want. There's no cameras here. It's just you and me. You could do it. However, Gi-hun holds himself back. And it seems like he's about to take up the front man's offer, being kill the rest of them so that you and the kid can survive. And the front man's one final question to Gi-hun asks, do you still have faith in people? And then the episode ends. That's at least the main storyline. There's still at least 2 other storylines in the episode. So we also see No-Ul and the father try to escape the island. They are given a boat. They sail off. They start to sail off. But then, the commanding officer, the guy in the black uniform, He's just like, turn the boat around now. Give him back to us, and we'll let you go scot-free. She's just like, no. But then the officer's just like, I think I know where you and the player are going. Because, damn, these guys are thorough. He opens up on the computer the fact that this player has a daughter. In this hospital, in this exact hospital room. So the officer knows that player, whatever his number was, has a sick patient cancer daughter. So they can't hide. So Noel turns the boat around. She gets out, tells him, drive the boat out, back to inland, and call the police when you get there. But of course, to no surprise, the boat has a tracker. Damn, these guys are thorough. Like, thorough. If even one thing is out of line, they will notice and they will figure it out. These guys are thorough. So Noel is back on the island and she climbs up the side of the mountain to get into a vent. We don't see what follows after that, not yet. And then the third and final storyline for this episode is the guys on the boat trying to look for the island. So at the end of the last episode, let me see his name again. Choi Woo Sok. Last episode, he broke into Captain Park's house and was arrested for it. The police are trying to question him, and he keeps on trying to tell him Captain Park is part of a criminal group. There is dirty money that he's hiding, as well as a uniform, and even the cops like, what kind of criminal group wears pink uniforms and these Halloween masks? He doesn't believe them. So Choi tries to call the detective, trying to warn him, but, you know, his number is on his cell phone, which he's not allowed to use. So instead, the police department, of course they do, police department call Captain Park himself on the boat, be like, hey, someone broke into your house. Oh, Captain Park's like, what's his name? Choi Woo Sok, knowing that was one of his crew members. And then, of course, the police officers just blab everything. You know, he was saying some weird things. He was saying you were part of a criminal group, that you wear this pink uniform with a mask, that you have a bunch of dirty money buried. Crazy, right? Anyway, so Captain Park's cover is blown. So Choi actually makes quite a smart move. He makes such a scene that the police are like, all right, calm down. We'll give you your phone so you can call your lawyer. Well, he snatches the phone away from them. Pretty smart of him. And it's just like, Siri, call the detective. Siri calls him. He warns them while trying to run away from a whole horde of police. Just in time, too. Well, Captain Park, first of all, instructs the second boat. Our identity's been compromised. Take them out. So there was a second one working with them. So Captain Park just machine guns most of the men. However, the detective gets away because he hid. He grabs a harpoon, and just before the main espionage guy gets killed, detective just harpoons Captain Park. Oh yeah, earlier in the episode, they were also debating, like, the island must be here. We must investigate in the morning. But then Captain Park's like, no, we can't. The island can't be here. There are police boats here all the time surveying Chinese fishing boats. So then they realize the island must be here. Captain Park didn't really say anything before he died. He's just like, I was given orders to make sure you survive. And then he, at the very end, with his final breath, he was just like, thank you. It's been fun. So now they are sure the island is around this area. Which I kind of question. Didn't you already know the island was there? You literally stepped a foot onto the island yourself. Realize it's the same island. Like, don't you know at this point where the island is? You escaped from the island. Right? And then you found the island again. What do you mean you're looking at a map to be like, alright, where could the island be? It has to be in this area. You already set foot on the island. Whatever. So he was actually, the detective was actually looking at the map and was like, remembering something Captain Park said. I thought he was gonna be like, we won't be doing this alone, since all our men are dead. We won't be doing this alone. He said, I kind of thought he would be like, he said there's a bunch of there's a bunch of police boats around here looking for Chinese fishermen. So I thought they were gonna recruit the police boats. But no, they realized the island must be here. They also realize they have 1 day left, because tomorrow will be the 5th day, the final game. No. The 6th day. Man, it's only been a week? Feels like it's been a year. And that's the whole episode of episode 4 for season 3. Again, this was a good episode. I like this episode. So far, the episodes in this season I thought were pretty good. From what I hear, it's just the ending that was bad. So I have to see just how bad the ending is for myself. There's 2 episodes left. It's kind of hard for one game to be stretched out for 2 episodes. So I imagine the next episode will be the final game. And then the final episode will go over, the ending to the story. Probably setting up the spin-off, Squid Game America. I actually did see some AI memes online. Imagine this is Squid Game America. And it's just a bunch of fat guys eating burgers and fast food. You will eat, whoever doesn't finish will die. And then I also saw more AI memes. Squid Game India. Your game will be to shower, and whoever does not completely clean themselves will be eliminated. And then it's just like, all players have been eliminated. Don't we just love memes? I also saw this other meme on Instagram. It's just another Indian guy. Hello, citizens of Canada. You know what? Fuck it. Hello, citizens of New India. We will be B-A-N. Our first act will be to B-A-N showers. Instead of just saying ban, he spelled it out. We will B-A-N showers. Don't look at me like that's offensive. Every group of people have their jokes. Excuse me. Alright, let me just see where these guys are planning to go. Okay, so it seems like they want Japanese barbecue and sushi tonight. I was kind of hoping for Korean barbecue, but whatever. Wow, they put up a poll on Discord and it's perfectly tied. 50% for all-you-can-eat barbecue, 50% for all-you-can-eat sushi. Perfectly tied, 50%. Alright, hold on, let me see on Google Maps where exactly this place is. Oh, it's this place. Never mind. Just from the picture alone, I know where it is. I think it's time to put on some music, some sort of background music. What do you think? Alright, so up next we have The Boys, Season 4, Episode 1. Hold on. Alright, The Boys, Season 4, Episode 1. Once again, The Boys with their big-ass cast, a bunch of storylines, so we'll just go one at a time. Or actually, at first, what's happening is our characters, our group, The Boys, are infiltrating one of Victoria Newman's little, campaign speeches. Turns out she's running for vice president of the United States, and supposedly if she becomes vice president and ever decides to, pop the head of the sitting president, she will then be elected or, promoted to the position of president of the United States. And obviously our characters can't have that happen. So they infiltrate, and seems like Butcher's not really listening anymore. He's doing his own thing. Homelander shows up with Ryan. Butcher sees this and he goes and tries to talk to Ryan. He's just like, go, please, come with me. Homelander is no father to you. I can take you back to Mallory. You'll be safe there. But no, Ryan sides with Homelander. And also, I gotta mention that, first of all, in this season, he shaved his beard. He has a mustache now. God, that does not look good. Needs that beard. I don't know if the actor lost some weight for season 4. He does not look well. I forget this actor's name. What was his name? Laz Alonso. My God, that beard is a game changer for him. He needs that beard bad. He's... You know how people say beards are men's version of makeup? How women wear makeup and they are a totally different person with and without? Well, yeah, that's the same thing with guys and beards. Okay, I did look it up just now. Laz Alonso breaks silence on his weight loss in season 4 of The Boys. Wanted to do something real different on IMDb. So he did lose some weight. I think he looked better before. But that's just me. You want to lose the weight, that's fine. But brother, please, keep the beard. Anyways. So yeah, got him. I just have to mention that about He lost the beard. Really needs it back. It's like the handful of times we saw Mudahar shave his beard off and he's like, please grow it back. So yeah, they're infiltrating one of Victoria Newman's campaign rallies, I guess. Victoria Newman's daughter is there as well. I think her name was Zoe. She goes back to her room, seeing that a bunch of guys, a bunch of like security guys are in there that they're not supposed to be. She notices that Frenchie and Kimiko are in there staring at her confused. She doesn't know who they are yet, but she just knows that they're not supposed to be there. So instead of, complying, what she does is she reveals her soup powers and completely just tears the guys apart. So she has like tentacle monsters that come out of her mouth, kind of like xenomorphs. She's about to kill Frenchie, but then Kimiko swings in to save him. This girl just rips off Kimiko's arm and she just brushes it off. She even starts to grow it back rather quick, Deadpool style. So they jump out the window to escape. Annie is trying out her new flying ability, but she's still practicing. And also that she tries, as she's flying, she tries to reach for Kimiko's hand, but her hand is gone, and it's in a baby form, still growing back. So Kimiko falls, splats on the pavement, but instead catches Frenchie instead. Kimiko falls down onto the pavement from like 8 stories high. We don't get to see her completely, beaten up face, because I guess that was too grotesque. But instead we just cut back to her as her face heals. Huey is left in the van, and Victoria Newman goes out and speaks to him. Huey and Victoria, they have a moment. It's like, Vicky, you and I, We were more than friends. We were like family. And then Victoria Newman's just like, there were many times I wanted to tell you, Huey, but I was afraid of losing you. And then Huey does a pretty ballsy move. He opens the container of acid, throws it onto Victoria. It's just like, hey, Vicky, fuck you. Tosses acid on her, and she's just like, what the hell, man? Oh, if I was Huey, I'd be terrified, because she can easily pop your head anytime she wants. But, seems like Victoria Newman wants a truce, you know? You don't expose me, and I don't kill everyone you've ever loved, and yada yada yada, so it's a truce. Butcher actually sneaks up and shoots her square in the head, point blank, and she just walks it off. So it seems like Victoria Newman's a lot harder to kill than we thought. A bullet to the head won't work, acid to the face won't work. Also, Homelander, actually the first time we see Homelander in the season, we get a real close-up of his face, and then the camera pulls back and it's revealed he's peeing at a urinal with his hands on his hips. I don't know, I thought that was kind of a funny shot. You know, speaking of Homelander, I forgot to mention this. So, in the season 1 finale to Gen V, we see Homelander descend onto Godolkin, and we hear his theme, only it's kind of distorted and warped, reflecting just how corrupted Homelander has become. And I want to mention that because at the same time when I watched that episode, I watched the final episode of The Boys Presents Diabolical, and the end credits to that episode was actually damn near the same song being played. The Homelander theme distorted and warped. I just thought that was a pretty cool coincidence I forgot to mention. In one episode, I hear that same theme, and then in the next episode I watch, the credits, the music's almost identical. Both reflecting just how corrupted Homelander has become. So yeah, throughout the episode we see Homelander just picking at his pubes and just plucking them, holding them up. He is losing hair, he's losing pubes, and we see that his pubes are gray. Something's going on with Homelander. So back at Vought Tower, Homelander is actually not having it. He's out of it. He's sick of everything and everyone. Homelander, he's also on trial for murder because of the civilian he killed at the end of the last season. Well, they're looking at brand new candidates for the 7. And God, what was this guy's name again? This one actor I see everywhere, playing damn near the same villainous character every time. The hell was his name? Zach McGowan. I see this guy everywhere, and he plays damn near the same villain every time. So yeah, you best believe I recognize his face when I saw him show up on the board of contenders. Let's see, his character in the Boys universe is called Dognot. So then they were just saying like, this guy, he's a contender, he ate a dog. No, he ate out a dog. There's a difference. So we see other names pop up like Sister Sage and A-Train's just like, I knew her in the past. Homelander, he's done with it. Oh yeah, also Black Noir shows up. He just walks in the room nonchalantly like nothing happened. I have a theory about Black Noir I'll say in just a moment. Because I did get spoiled, Black Noir returns in this season, you know? There's only so many YouTube thumbnails you can avoid. So Homelander is so sick of everything. Oh, also, Ashley wants to reaffirm, Deep, you got rid of the octopus, right? Yes, I got rid of the octopus. Because Deep went on to this, like, talk show host, and he's just like, no, my wife, whatever her name was just spreading lies. There was no relationship with an octopus. Lies! So he claims to have gotten rid of the octopus. We know he's a damn liar. Homelander, he's sick of all their shit. He's just like, Deep, go blow Heatran. What? I'm serious. Get up, go over there, pull down his pants, and give him a blow. The Deep hesitantly gets up, walks towards Heatran. Heatran really not wanting this to happen, but he has no choice. He just stands up and is ready to accept it. And Homelander just like, get off your knees! None of you have the guts to stand up to me. Ashley's like, you're right. None of us do. You know, trying to last minute try to get on his good side. So instead, Homelander, he actually goes and visits Sister Sage, who is supposedly the smartest person on the planet. And for the first time ever, we actually see Homelander not in his Homelander suit. You know, not counting the times we've seen him naked. So for the first time, Homelander's just wearing normal civilian clothes, which is kind of wild to see. He visits Sister Sage, wants to test her. Like, show me, how smart are you? She's able to tell that, like, you wash your hands more now. I see that you do your hair more, you're probably losing more hair, and you're graying, so your makeup department needs to account for that, blah blah blah. She's able to tell a lot of things, and Homelander's impressed. He wants Sister Sage to join the Seven, and she's like, hell no. Homelander's like, why? And she's just like, first of all, I don't want them to fit me into some racist looking costume. And second, I'm a woman who's much smarter than you, and that'll actually hurt your ego. And he's just like, I'm smart as well. She's just like, my point exactly. You know what? I will brush that woke dialogue off, since she's not wrong about that. So instead, Homelander, and believe me, there's more woke stuff in this episode. So Homelander actually talks to Sister Sage. You know, Homelander feels unfulfilled. He's just like, I save people, they cheer. I kill people, they cheer. But everything's meaningless. So Sister Sage proposes an idea. You pit them, regular humans, against themselves for you to swoop in and save. Kinda like Caesar. Did they say Caesar? Whatever. So Huey, in this episode, he gets a phone call from his dad, but he does not answer. Later on, we see that his dad actually had a stroke, and Huey wasn't there. So now he's pretty heartbroken, he's pretty beat up, because they don't know if his dad will make it out or not. Throughout the episode, Butcher also constantly looks to the side, as if he's seeing someone, hearing voices. And of course, the end of the episode reveals that he's seeing and hearing Becca. No surprise there. Well, it turns out that these characters are now working for the CIA, I think. MM gets a meeting with Mallory and I guess the running president? The president-elect or whatever. And, you know, they're trying to find a way to take out Victoria Newman. Butcher was not allowed into the meeting room. What's funny is that his ringtone is never gonna let you down. Or never gonna give you up, my bad. That's pretty funny. It was actually... shit, what was his wife's name again? It was actually his wife calling. What was her name? Shit, I forgot. Whatever MM's wife's name was. Well, while Butcher's waiting outside, he gets a visit from none other than Jeffrey Dean Morgan, finally. And he plays Joe Kessel. I swear to God, he does not look like a Joe. I've seen him too much as Negan. I can't see him as not Negan. So they talk. Joe actually has a proposal for Butcher. Something like, if you don't do this now, if we don't group together and do this now, then it won't be long until the soups group us up and send us to camps. Butcher actually makes a meeting with Victoria Newman on the down low. I couldn't tell if it was the same setting as in Gen V, where we saw Sam go where he, went to be alone. That little, like, abandoned restaurant place. I couldn't tell if it was the same place. And inside the restaurant, we actually see a billboard sign, a cutout sign of Polarity, Andre's dad. So nice little connection there. So Butcher has a meeting with Victoria Newman, and he's just like, "Oh, you don't think I know about that virus being cooked up at Godolkin? I know about that." So they actually make a deal. I'm not too sure what the details of the deal were. I'll have to try to see as the season progresses. But I think part of the deal was Butcher tries to get everything that Huey has on Victoria Newman, because Huey did say that he has all the info on Victoria Newman about the Red River stuff. So I think part of the deal was Butcher would get Victoria Newman all that stuff that Huey had. Because later in the episode, when Huey went back to their little hideaway, their little, base of operation to grab stuff to go to see his dad at the hospital, Butcher hugs him, but then turns out he swipes Huey's little flash drive, which supposedly should have all the stuff on Victoria. The end of the episode, she gets an anonymous message saying, like, "Here's all the files on you." Victoria Newman opens a file, and it's just someone starfishing her. That's pretty funny. Someone just spreading their cheeks for her. You see way down into that anus. Come on. In the boys' universe, we've seen a close-up of a penis. We've now seen a clear starfish. Still no close-up of a vagina. Can't help but notice there's some favoritism. There's some double standards here. And then the end of the episode, when he just starfishes Victoria Newman, it seems like Becca is kind of Butcher's voice of reason. Becca in his head is like, "You promised that you would protect Ryan, and if you do this, what you're doing now, you will betray Huey again, and it'll backfire on you again." Butcher's just like, "I ain't got the time for this, though." Since he's dying, he has like maybe 6 months left. Let's see. Oh my god, there's still so much more of the episode. Janine! No, Janine was the daughter's name. Whatever. MM goes to see his wife, and she's asking MM for help. Todd disappeared ever since he got deep into that, like, Homelander group stuff. Versus the Starlighter stuff, so there's two groups. The people who support Starlight and the people who support Homelander. Two groups at odds. Gee, I wonder what that's a metaphor for in America. So, because they know Janine loves Todd as a stepfather, MM's wife, I forget her name, asks MM to look for Todd with all that CIA tech. And he's just like, at least he doesn't got the D, right? And she just does not speak. It's like, really? So at that Starlight meeting thing, we see Frenchie meet this guy Colin. They go into the bathroom together, and it seems like there's like a relationship between the two. Later on, we literally see this happen. So in the car ride, trying to find Todd, Frenchie and Kimiko talk with sign language. Kimiko's just like, I love you, but we can't be together, so if Colin makes you happy, go be happy. It's like, what? What do you mean you can't be together? So they actually find Todd, and they see Sister Sage with him. They don't know who Sister Sage is just yet, but they do take pictures. Turns out, Todd, as well as two other guys, who are supposedly Homelander's biggest fans, they were lured in with the false guise of thinking they're gonna meet Homelander. So the Deep and A-Train are there. They meet the fans first. Homelander comes in and is like, I heard you were my biggest fans. I just want to thank you for your service and sacrifice for this country. And then Homelander, being Homelander, he orders that A-Train, the Deep, and Black Noir take these baseball bats and kill these men, beat them to death. And they do just that. Black Noir does not hesitate. So yeah, Todd is now dead, as well as two other guys. And this is all part of Sister Sage's plan. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we actually hear Black Noir speak for the first time. So he's just like, that was rad, wasn't it? That was crazy. We just killed these guys. So my theory for Black Noir is it's someone else under the suit. I don't think it's Irving under that suit. I think it's someone else wearing the Black Noir suit. And that's how Black Noir's back. It's just someone else wearing the Black Noir suit. That's my theory. So now with 3 dead bodies as basically martyrs, Homelander goes to the court hearing he needs to attend. Sister Sage dresses up as one of the Starlighters. She instigates a fight between the two crowds. And then those 3 bodies that they killed, one being Todd, are planted there to frame the Starlighters. Be like, look, I saw with my own eyes. Starlighters killed these 3 guys. So, MM, Frenchie, and Kimiko are there. They try to break up the fight by fighting the people themselves. Colin's there as well. And then Frenchie and Colin kiss. And then they have sex later that night. We see Homelander smiling about all this because Sister Sage's genius plan is working according to plan. It's all working perfectly. Later on, we see Frenchie wake up naked in bed next to Colin, and he's kind of having some thoughts. I'll talk more about that after. So we see Huey next to his father's side in the hospital, a woman comes up and speaks to them. Huey turns around and is just like, Mom? That's crazy. We haven't met Huey's mom yet. And then final scene with Butcher after he hallucinates Becca. We see something moving under his skin. On his forehead, there looks like there's a worm moving under his skin. Now, this isn't Boyd with worms under his skin killing one of the monsters in From. We'll have to see. Oh, also the Deep. Turns out he did not get rid of the octopus. The octopus is hidden behind the clothes in his closet. And we also hear the octopus speak. So about Frenchie and Colin, Frenchie's gay now? Really? You've been building up the Frenchie and Kimiko relationship. That's what we've wanted to see. That's what I've wanted to see happen. And yet suddenly in this season, you open up with Kimiko saying, I love you, but we can't be together. And then he just hooks up with this random guy we've never seen before? There was no hints, no indication at all whatsoever the past 3 seasons that Frenchie was interested in men whatsoever. He was with Sherry at first, and then he was growing closer with Kimiko, and now you're suddenly telling me for some reason they can't be together, and Frenchie is gay. Well, I can already see why people online were saying this season has gone pretty woke. And I know people will try to counter-argue, like, it's not woke just simply having a gay character. Not everything gay is woke. You're right, but there was no build-up whatsoever. For all I knew, Frenchie was straight the whole time. There was no hint he was gay or even bi. And now suddenly, after all those seasons of build-up between Frenchie and Kimiko, you're abruptly telling me they can't be together for reasons. What reasons? It is of no concern. And then Frenchie just hooks up with this guy randomly. Anyway, so yeah, the callback to what happened at Godolkin's pretty cool. I'm trying to think. I don't think I missed anything else. Okay, I'm just gonna go pee real quick and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, we got one more to go over. Arcane Season 2, Episode 1. So, this episode actually opens up with death, destruction, explosions, fire, rubble. At first I was kind of thinking like, is this one of those episodes where they flash forward for the beginning, show us something that will happen, and then majority of the episode shows the lead up to that event? No, I completely forgot. At the end of Season 1, Jinx fired an enormous beam straight at the council. Season 2 opens up with the aftermath, the destruction, the death, the fire, the rubble. So we see Jace and Mel, they both survived. But not everyone was so lucky. Some people did not survive. Some of the council members did not survive. And also Jace, he runs after and finds Victor at the brink of death. So he runs, he carries him frantically, heads over to his hex core stuff, trying to save his life. Well, that's the intro. A big bang happens as the hex core fires a beam at Victor, and that's the intro. Speaking of intro, the opening intro for this season. It's still the same song, however, the visuals have changed, and I gotta say, I like the visuals much more. Instead of the statues for the opening intro of Season 1, this time we actually see the characters themselves, and I like it. I like it much more. Yeah, the Season 2 intro is so much better than the Season 1. So, this episode, we mostly see Caitlyn dealing with the loss of her mother. Caitlyn's mother was one of the council members, I think, and she died in that attack. The attack that Jinx fired at the council killed 3 of the council members. One of them being Caitlyn's mother. So now the rest of the council are debating, do they use Hex Tech to invade the Undercity? I forget what it's called. I forget what the underground city was called. Forgive me, it's been a while since I saw Season 1. So yeah, they're debating, do they use Hex Tech to invade? So, they actually do debate to go down and enforce their laws, but no Hex Tech, at least not yet. Caitlyn mourns the loss of her mother, and Caitlyn's father gives her a key. It's like their family key. What's it called again? The family key. It's the Kiraman key. There it is. The Kiraman key. The family key. And throughout all of this, Vi is close by, keeping an eye on her friend. So they meet up. They hug. I almost thought they were going to kiss. I still think these two are going to end up together, because god damn it, they're hinting at it hard. Vi actually admits, "You're right, powder is gone. I have to stop Jinx." But Caitlyn's actually like, "You don't have to do it alone." She hands Vi something, and it's actually a badge. An officer badge. It's an enforcer badge. She's just like, "You don't have to do it alone. You can do it as one of us." Of course, Vi declines because, Vi watched enforcers kill her parents in front of her. So Vi is upset. She goes outside in the rain, and she throws a bottle angrily. It hits some guy. I don't think we even learned his name in this episode. It hits some guy. He goes and sits beside her, and then they drink the night away. So Jace is worried about his friend Victor, and what happened to Victor is he's now encased in some sort of like hex core wall. He's kind of like, he kind of got Han Solo'd. The hex core is at least keeping him alive, but we don't know the state that Victor's in. So Mel tells Jace that not only is her mother part of the game now, Mel's mother is also working with the council, I guess. But Mel also tells Jace that your friend Caitlin, you know, you should talk to her. She just lost her mother. And there's a fly in here. You should talk to your friend Caitlin. So Caitlin is at her garden, I guess. And she actually dreams and sees visions of Jinx. Caitlin is ready to shoot and kill Jinx if she sees her. And then, you know, Jace wakes her up and talks to her. They talk about how Victor's doing. They talk about what's going on with Caitlin. And she's actually... This episode, she's slowly growing a hatred towards the citizens of the Undercity. Whatever it's called, I forget. She's just like, one attack. One attack, that's all it takes. It's so easy to be angry and hate them. So Vi was out there on the streets drinking the whole night. And a brand new enforcer comes in. Knows Vi by her name. Turns out, this person's name is Maddie. I don't know, she acts like she was friends with Vi at one point, but Vi doesn't recognize her. Not only do we need to meet a brand new enforcer character, Maddie, there's also this other character who I don't think we learned the name of, let alone hear speak. I don't know, he looks like this, like, fish person, this Zora person, this Sizoth looking person. I don't know. So Maddie's just like, oh, it's such an honor to meet you. Caitlin actually said so much about you. I'm honored that you decided to sign up and join the Enforcers. It will be an honor to serve alongside you. So yeah, we meet this new character, Maddie. With what happens later this episode, I kind of thought that, you know, we would lose the character right as we met her. But no. Alright, so there is now a city-wide memorial for not only Caitlin's mother, but the other two members of the council who have died in the attack. So Mel is up on stage giving the speech, giving the eulogy. And our characters. Vi notices there are shady people walking around. She tries to follow. There's also some hooded figure speaking to Jace. And then a big attack happens. A bunch of people who look like they are, you know, they're Bane. They look like they operate like Bane does, with a bunch of venom in tubes that they have to take in. It looks like these guys are working off a Shimmer. Remember Shimmer from Season 1 that Silco developed? However, wasn't Shimmer purple? These are green. At first I thought these were the Green Goblin crew with wait, what was his name again? Oh shit, what was his name again? The guy. Echo, it is Echo. Oh, I'm just noticing now, Kevin Alejandro voices Jace. Cool. He was on both Arrow and Lucifer. Cool. Oh, I didn't know he voiced Jace. Oh, I'm gonna pay attention to his voice now that I know. But, yeah. So an attack happens with a bunch of what looks like Shimmer juiced up guys. This dude with like a triple blade chainsaw attacking Jace. Mel almost got assassinated. Thankfully she didn't though. The new character Maddie and the other guy fight off this giant Bane character. along with Caitlyn and Vi. Jace picks up a hammer, attacks the chainsaw guy coming after him, but that doesn't even faze him, and then Jace gets slashed right on his back. Well, the big Bane character picks up Maddie by the leg. I really thought we were going to lose the character right as we met her. But nope. Vi has an idea. Fight off the big Bane character while I go and grab weapons. So what Vi does is she goes and grabs Jace's Hex core weapons, Hex tech weapons, the big hammer that he used. So she's about to fire a big laser beam straight at this Bane character. However, spears are thrown just before the beam hit. So who helped out? Who threw the spears at the last moment? Well, it's a group of brand new characters led by Mel's mother, I think. I'm pretty sure. Wearing this like war helmet as well. So in the aftermath of the fight, Caitlyn is pissed. She is furious with the citizens of the Undercity. And now Caitlyn indeed wants to lead an attack down there. So Caitlyn, she uses her Kiramin key to unlock like family secrets. There's all these like conscripts for her to absorb the knowledge of, to learn about her family or whatever. So now she is inspired. She demands authority from her fellow remaining council members. One of them looks like a Koye. This new woman, kind of looks dead ass like a Koye. Is that bad of me to say? So yeah, Caitlyn is now leading a brand new group. That group consists of Maddie, the new character we didn't meet, the new character we don't know the name of, the other new character we don't know the name of, as well as Vi. And they are all equipped with brand new Hex tech weapons. And they are going to lead a charge down to the Undercity, into Zaun. I think it was Zaun. Yeah, they're going to lead a charge down to Zaun, locate Jinx, dismantle Shimmer, and take down anyone still loyal to Silco. We also see that Jace is the one who forged, welded, and assembled these new Hex core weapons for them. Once again, just looks like a bunch of nanotech. But yeah, she now has a new group, a new army. And surprise, Vi actually joins them as well. I don't think this really counts as Vi joining the military or the officers or whatever. Kind of does, since she wears a badge now. I'm pretty sure Vi just wants to do this to not only prevent a war from breaking out from both sides, but also to find her sister find her sister Jinx. The end of the episode, we see Victor. Well, seems like he's still in there, because we see not his eyes open. I really thought his eyes would open. But we see his face slightly move. And then we have a little post-credit scene where this character, I don't know who, might be one of the attackers of the memorial. We see this character walk into this snowy woods, sees a cave with a bunch of wolves in it, and then he opens a canister of green shimmer gas, and then the episode ends. Don't know what that's about. There's your horribly explained episode 1 of season 2 for Arcane. There was no Jinx in this episode. If you don't count the, the hallucinations, the dream Caitlyn had of seeing her. There was no jinx in this episode. So there you go, the 3 episodes. Whew, once I'm done this, in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna go grab some lunch, get some rest, and then, I'm going out later tonight. Still have the Sandman to watch. Man, I really want to watch that too. Though there's no rush on this, there's no rush because only the first half of the season's out, and then the second half is going to come out a couple weeks from now. Oh, that's right, Dead Boy Detectives. That's right. I wanted to watch this just in case it tied in with Sandman. Yeah, I don't know if it will or not. Ooh, I see Netflix has a season 1 recap. I should watch that. Since it was a couple years ago since season 1 came out. Alright, one last reset. I was about to end it there, but one last one. And no shiny. See you next time.